The big three quarterback picks in next month's draft: Caleb Williams, JJ Daniels, and Drake Maye. They have another guy that's building a ton of momentum with the front office gurus around the league. Michigan's JJ McCarthy looks to crash the party on April 25th, which is the first day of the draft. I really like this kid, and I'll break it all down for you today. This is my take. JJ McCarthy, 6'2.5", 220-pound junior from the University of Michigan, has been building quite the buzz ever since he led the Wolverines to the 2023 College Football National Championship in beating the Washington Huskies and Michael Penix Jr. I started really paying attention to McCarthy about halfway through this season, and I really like him. Everything that I've seen up to this point in time tells me that he's going to be a top-notch QB in the NFL. I'm really impressed with the skill set that he has and what he brings to the table. This is what I really like about JJ McCarthy. We'll start with his arm. He has a live arm. He can really zip it. Whether he's throwing the ball from the pocket or he's throwing it on the run when he breaks pocket, he can really put some gas behind his throws and get the ball down the field. He's got a really live arm.
Now they're late getting there.
Let's see if McCarthy can find him. Lofts it, sideline. Edwards with a step. He's got it. Out of bounds at the 39-yard gain.
4 passes thrown. Open. Wilson, touchdown.
First 5 games this year, but he's been the biggest cheerleader for everybody else throughout the process. McCarthy dialing up a deep ball down the field. Oh, it's caught. Cornelius Johnson. Sensational effort. 2nd and 10. McCarthy, a dart, and it's complete. Touchdown. Big spot for this Michigan State defense. Now it looks like a free play. Oh, no flag. Yeah, it did come in on the near side. Doesn't matter. Here's a touchdown to Colston Love. Up to 63 yards in the touchdown. Play action for McCarthy. Lobs over the middle. Wide open. Roman Wilson in space. Across the 30 and ushered out of bounds inside the 25.
To go with the live arm, the second thing I like about him is he's really accurate. He puts the ball on his receivers. Not only that, but he puts it on them where they can catch and run. So they're not having to slow down or stop for throws. They're not having to leave their feet and go down for low balls or jump for balls that are over their head. He puts it on them in a position where they can catch and run. I measure a quarterback's accuracy on a few throws: corner routes, dig routes, and back shoulder verticals. And he's money on all 3 of those throws. And I think that the corner route and the dig route are a true measure of a quarterback's ability to accurately throw a ball. I think that those are the 2 hardest throws for any quarterback, doesn't matter what level. And then those back shoulder verticals, those have to be delivered exactly on that back shoulder. You've got a very small window to put those throws on. And every time that he throws a back shoulder, he puts it right where it needs to go.
Garner transfer from Indiana on 3rd down. McCarthy looks right, fires for Wilson for the hat trick. He got it.
Pocket for McCarthy towards the end zone. That is caught. Touchdown.
I wouldn't have done it if it was an odd number.
Oh, we got another one. All right, 11. He's rugged. Here's McCarthy to the sideline, back shoulder throw, and it's caught. A.J.
I'm really impressed with McCarthy's ability to throw the ball on the run. Now, I broke down Caleb Williams earlier, and I said that this was one of his strongest suits, was delivering the rock when he's either running full speed to his right or full speed to his left and being accurate with the throws. Well, McCarthy does exactly the same thing. And he's got great mechanics when he throws the ball going to his left. And what you want to do as a quarterback when you're running full speed to your left is get those shoulders cranked around, all right, so that when you deliver the ball, you can accurately put it on your receiver. If you don't crank your shoulders around, the momentum of the path of your body is going to carry that football towards the left. It's going to drift. So you see him when he throws it going to his left, he really works on cranking those shoulders back around so that his hips and shoulders are facing his target for the most part when he delivers the ball. Very impressive.
McCarthy in trouble. Gets away on the run. Touchdown!
McCarthy doubles out of the pocket and launches. End zone, Wilson! That had a vapor trail on it.
This jumped out at me when I first started watching him. His pocket presence and pocket management is really good. He does all the subtle little things in the pocket that make for a great quarterback. When he starts to feel that the pocket may be breaking down or be compromised, he doesn't get frantic. His eyes don't come down to the rush. A lot of quarterbacks do this, but he keeps his vision downfield, tries to maintain his progression reads, and he just does these little subtle slides side to side. I call it scooting and pedaling, or he'll climb the pocket, or he'll even do the controlled shuffle back away from the line of scrimmage. The point being, he's always got his eyes downfield on his receivers, and he's got that ball up in ball carriage, okay? Ball carriage, how you carry the football in the pocket, tip of the ball, top of the numbers on the jersey. One of the problems that I have with Caleb Williams is when he feels pressure and is out of rhythm now, where he has to move around in the pocket, instead of keeping that ball carriage up here so that he's able to push it up and back and get that sucker out when he's ready to throw, he drops the football down below his waist. And the game's over when you do that. And McCarthy keeps it up here while he's sliding around so that when he does make that decision to throw it, the ball is out of his hand.
Wilson! JJ McCarthy threw that one off his back foot. He's been a big touchdown maker. McCarthy scanning. Loads of time for McCarthy. Now he wings it downfield. To the end zone, Roman Wilson. Who's got a touchdown?
Play action for McCarthy. Steps up, and as he throws, doesn't matter. Colston Loveland, touchdown, Michigan.
Two receivers each side, 5 in the pattern. McCarthy flush, steps up, gonna throw on the run, touchdown! Michigan touchdown, Roman Wilson. ECU brings some pressure. McCarthy moves, fires complete. That's Carmelo English. It's Johnson, 6, beg your pardon.
First down. Play fake. McCarthy fires, got his man inside the 20. That's Roman Wilson.
See, JJ McCarthy is hoping to add his name to that list as well as he stands in the pocket, feels the rush, and delivers to Roman Wilson. That is just beautiful progressions from
JJ McCarthy is tough. You know, he's physically tough. When he needs to get an extra yard or two, he's going to lower his pad level and go to war with whoever's trying to tackle him in the open field. He's a tough guy. You know, he gets banged around and just picks himself up off the ground and keeps on playing. One play, actually it wasn't a play, it was a timeout, which really cracked me up when I saw it. I was watching the Michigan-Ohio State game on TV, and there was a timeout. He came to the sideline, and they had the camera on him in a close-up, and whoever he was talking to, one of the coaches was in his ear, and the camera was on McCarthy, and he just lifted his face mask up and turned his head and spit out a big glob of blood, you know, on the sideline or on the field, and then just pulled his face mask back down and buckled his chin strap and continued to listen to what he was being told by the coach, and then just went out and continued to play. That says a whole lot about him. You know, it's no big deal. He had a mouthful of blood and wasn't a drama queen about it. He just spit it out, got it out there, and continued to play. He's a tough kid.
McCarthy keeps looking for his second rushing touchdown of the day. A stiff arm and the extra effort
Against Darius Green.
Gains 49, sets up first and goal. McCarthy's going to keep it himself. McCarthy gets to the outside, lowers the shoulder. He's in. Touchdown, Michigan.
Okay.
He is athletic enough. Okay, and what I mean by that is when he does have to bail out, when it's a situation where he does have to get out and run, he's got good enough speed where he can hurt the defense. But he's not a world-class athlete by any stretch of the imagination, and you don't need to be that at the quarterback position. He is athletic enough to hurt the defense when he has to run the football. McCarthy is a winner, and he's a leader. You know, when you lead your team to a national championship, that speaks volumes about you. It's just not an easy thing to do. And he doesn't shrink when it is the bright lights in the big stadium. You know, he's played in front of over 100,000 people every home game in Ann Arbor. And when he has the bright lights on him in big games, he plays big. He's a winner. And he's a leader. His teammates respect him. His coaches respect him. Every time that you hear how teammates talk about their quarterback, that speaks volumes about leadership and what he does on the field, you know, the game field, what he does on the practice field, what he's doing in the locker room. It's one of the four components that you have to be a successful quarterback. So he's a proven winner and a great leader. Okay, he's coached at Michigan by an NFL head coach, you know, Jim Harbaugh. And to go along with that, he was coached by a former NFL quarterback, Jim Harbaugh. So having that situation and that dynamic has done nothing but helped JJ McCarthy. Is his maturity, his growth as a quarterback, mentally and physically. When you've got a head coach that has coached at the highest level and also played the position at the highest level, that's a huge bonus. And then the last thing is McCarthy is low maintenance. And I'm talking about off the field stuff. And this is an area that bites quarterbacks in the ass a lot of times. And it's one of the four components that I talk about with successful quarterbacks. And if you're low maintenance off the field, that is just better for everybody concerned within the organization, the team, everybody, the fans. It gets tiring if your quarterback is a pain in the ass off the field. And McCarthy is low maintenance. He does his job and he carries himself off the field maturity-wise and responsibility-wise, and just the overall presentation of himself as a QB is going to really pay dividends for him as he becomes a professional in the NFL. Okay, I've got a couple of concerns about him, and both of these can be coached. And I think both of them may be linked together. So here we go. When you watch him on film, I want you to pay attention to the last step of his drop. He really gets a long last step. And a lot of times he is hopping into that last step. Now, this creates two problems for him. Number one, at the end of your drop, the last 2 steps that you take, whether it's a 3-step drop or a 5-step drop, I don't think anybody's using a 7-step drop anymore, but the last 2 steps of your drop put you in position to throw the ball. And so those last 2 steps is a crossover step and then a plant step. And then from there, it's just stride and throw. And that's throwing in rhythm and tempo. Okay. And what you see with McCarthy, because he takes that big last step, his platform now is too wide. And the platform for a quarterback is where his feet are at the end of his drop to put him in position to throw the ball. And I always told my quarterbacks that they wanted their platform to be just about under their shoulders. Okay. And that's one of the areas that you don't mess with if you're a quarterback coach, in my opinion, is a QB's platform or his arm slot, where he delivers the ball from. Every quarterback is different and unique in their arm slot and their platform. And the only time that you mess with those 2 things is if they're causing a quarterback problems. I think that McCarthy gets in trouble with how he ends up in his platform. And this is the reason why. When he's at the end of his drop and his feet are wide, you watch what he does on a lot of throws where he has to hitch his feet back up. So he'll take that back foot and hitch it up towards his front foot to get his feet in the proper platform where they should have been at the end of his drop. And that extra hitch step now makes it so the ball's coming out of his hand late on throws. And I'm going to show you some throws here, and I'm going to talk about one in particular where he throws a seam route and the ball is thrown about 5 to 8 yards too late or too far down the field. And it's all because of McCarthy's feet and what he does with the little hitch up before he delivers the throw, and the receiver gets blown up by the safety. Now, McCarthy can get away with this in college. I don't think that's going to happen in the NFL. That ball is going to be incomplete because the receiver is going to be separated from his helmet just as the ball gets there.
5 first down. JJ McCarthy. And he throws it over the middle. Caught on the seam route.
McCarthy's arm, his live arm, and the zip he has really overcomes the fact that he gets the ball out of his hand late a lot of times. He's able to overcome that by putting a lot of zip on that ball and getting it there. I'm not sure that that's going to play out for him very well in the NFL. And again, that's something that you can coach out of a kid. And I think that has to happen at the next level, which leads me to his second concern. And this may be tied in with the first one, and it may be a result of the first one, and it's anticipation on throws. So the seam route that I talked about, if you anticipate that thing, that should be delivered just as your slot receiver is clearing that slot defender. And I'm not sure if that's an anticipation thing or it's tied into his feet with his drop in what I talked about just a second ago with that big wide platform and then having to do a hitch step before he throws it. But he also does the same thing on corner routes. He's putting the ball right there where it needs to go, but your receiver is the most open on any route at the top of his stem. Okay, he's the most open. So we're talking about getting the ball in the hands of the receiver when he's the most open, where he can catch and run. And anytime that you've got a guy that's running a corner route and he catches the ball and he's having to tap his feet to stay in bounds for a catch, a lot of times that's telling you your quarterback's throwing the ball too late. It's a completion, yes, but it's a lot better situation for your offense when your receiver can catch the ball coming out of his break All right. Most corner routes, you're running your stem up to 10 yards, sticking that toe on the ground and bursting to 20 for the corner. You're in a lot better shape offensively if that ball is coming out as he starts to stick that toe to burst to the corner, and he's able to catch it and turn it upfield and run rather than catch it and run out of bounds or catch it having to tap the feet in to stay inbounds. So again, I'm not sure if that's an anticipation issue with McCarthy or if it's a result of him getting the ball out of his hand late because of his feet with the last two steps, and particularly the last step of his drop. Those are both situations that can be coached out of him at the next level. And I'm sure that that's something that will be addressed. Other than that, though, I really love this kid's game. I really, really like him. I think he's going to be a franchise guy, and there's a lot of talk that he may be the second guy taken. It's going to be interesting to see how the draft, the first round, actually does play out with the quarterbacks. But I like JJ McCarthy. I think he's going to be really, really good with what he does in the NFL and what he brings to the party. He's a well-rounded guy. I really like him. Okay, if you like this video, please like, share, and subscribe. Let me know what you think. Drop a comment down below if you feel like it. And be on the lookout for my next My Take, where I'm going to do a bonus breakdown on another guy that I really like, and that's Bo Nix. Be on the lookout for that. And this has been QB Unfiltered. And remember, always throw the ball short to guys who can score. See ya.